deep from a bunker in a top secret location. In southern Indiana comes a gathering of the Gospel Broalition. If it's religion, politics, cars, guns, cigars, and anything else flammable, we're talking about it. For men, by manlier men. Get it? Got it? Good. This is the Gospel Broalition. And here are your hosts, Pastor Lee, J.R. Robinson, and the Hoosier Hillbilly, Mike Paul.
All right, I'm going to make an executive decision here. We're going to dig this bunker deeper. I've already decided that.
The 300-foot mark has not been enough.
Welcome to the Gospel Broalition. If this is your first time coming and listening to the program, I'm just to let you know you're going to hear some strange noises throughout the podcast, and it won't be me passing gas. It'll be stuff about, you'll hear donkeys braying, dogs barking, tractors starting, cell phones going off, things like that.
Not mine.
Because apparently we live in some third world country over here. We're on an Amish farm. So
Deep underground.
Yes, we have a bunch of hamsters that are spinning wheels to provide electricity. So, because that's what the Amish do. No, they don't. It's solar panels or something. I don't know what they do. We're at the Gospel Broalition. I've lost my train of thought, which I do. I'm starting to do a whole lot lately.
It's age, man.
It is. It's like 55, the warranty runs out, and it's just like everything starts breaking at 55.
Check engine lights come on.
So I don't know what it is, but we're the Gospel Broalition. Pastor Lee, joined by Dauntless Gaming's J.R. Robinson on my left, the Hoosier Hillbilly, who has shaved his beard.
Beautiful.
Who looks now, we shall call him Mike the Metrosexual. And then we've got Sweet Tony in the studio, along with Shut Up Cameron. And so it's good to have you here with us, and we appreciate you guys watching what we do. And also share with your friends. Tell them. It's so funny because our group has like a lot of members, but they don't invite anybody to come.
It's probably because they're embarrassed.
It's like their own little secret. It was like, I'm part of this group, but I don't want anybody to know. Which is good because the FBI is keeping tabs on you anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
They're the new KGB. I found out this week they were like spying on people who were Trump supporters. And then the guy who calls himself the president has like authorized all this money for the IRS to go after Trump supporters. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll tell you, folks. Oh, it's starting to get good. It really is.
How does the IRS know who we support?
They know everything. Well, I guess the FBI and the IRS are working in coordination to. Mm-hmm. The FBI is monitoring what you put on your Facebook page.
Oh yeah.
And so they're passing it on to the IRS. So if you are a Trump supporter, don't be surprised if you're audited this year.
Trump supporters just won't get the next stimulus.
That's true.
Well, we laugh.
Yeah, that's probably true.
We laugh. I remember when the Babylon Bee was fiction. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be satire. Now it turns out it's true.
Yeah, and everything they put in there now, we just live in a crazy world. It does. I found out the Veggie Tales guy has, we discussed this. Do you renounce your faith? And then I'm like, if you renounce your faith, if you stop believing what the Bible says. And he's changed his opinion on a lot of things like, gay marriage, transgenderism. What else? He comes in with other stuff, a bunch of stuff that Cameron believes. It's, Cameron, Shut Up Cameron is, we don't let him talk because he's our closet liberal. So he's our token liberal, so we just keep him around for fun.
Just in the corner just to be there.
Yeah, we punch him like a pinata. So it's, Pinata. How do you say that?
Pinata.
Okay,
it's like it's got a Y in it.
Thank you.
Pinata.
Our quarter Mexican guy was able to give us a correct pronunciation of that. And so we're just, like I said, we're thankful for you guys to be here. I'm just sitting here. I'm seriously, folks. I'm sitting here waiting for the next noise to come out. I don't know what it is. If a boat came by with a foghorn, I wouldn't be surprised. Because every time we get into this podcast, well, Lee, maybe it's God trying to tell you something. Well, maybe it's the devil too. You ever thought about that, huh? You old biddy. But so we're here. If you're new to us, we like to have a lot of fun. We make fun of ourselves and everybody else. But this Phil Vischer guy who created Veggie Tales made all the money that he could possibly make and then gave the big FU to all the Christians out there.
It seems like a lot of them are doing that here lately.
A lot of them are doing that here lately. It's like they sell their books, they make their money, and then they tell you what they really believe. It's people like, but they've changed. Folks, they didn't change.
No, they were like that.
Phil Vischer didn't change. He was like that from the beginning, and he just lied to you. Mm-hmm. So I've had the Veggie Tales song stuck in my head all day long because I've been thinking about this.
Which one?
Veggie Tales.
Oh, the
Veggie
motto.
Tales.
Just think about how many.
Straight from hell. Veggie Tales. Yeah.
Just think about how many churches used that in their nurseries or their kids' programs.
We're going to change the
just
lyrics.
the last 20 years.
Yeah. Broccoli, celery, apostasy. Veggie Tales.
You could market that one.
I could market that.
We need a new intro song with that.
That's pretty catchy, man.
Yeah, that'll be our intro for next week.
If you like to talk to Satan. Oh, people are watching this like, I don't find any of this funny. I don't know what they're laughing
talking about.
That's why you'll never be as cool as us.
They probably didn't watch Veggie Tales.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Every Christian who had a kid watched Veggie Tales.
I did not.
Your kids watched Veggie Tales.
I did not.
No, but your kids did.
You watched it with the kids, though.
No, I've never watched the show.
Somebody had a great quote. I don't want to get serious because it's not us, but somebody had a great quote this week. It's like, if you send your kids to be educated by Caesar, don't be surprised if they turn out like Romans. I thought that was a great quote.
That is good, yeah.
That's way too serious.
That is, man. So we're going to move on to other stuff now. We're gonna leave that. But liberals just infest everything. They're like cockroaches. Real stupid, fat cockroaches. That's what they are.
Whoa!
They just infest everything. Everything that comes out, it's just like they touch everything. They can't leave anything alone. The Oscars. Did you hear about the Oscars?
I saw some headlines
Did
about
anyone actually watch it?
I don't know. Can anybody in here name me? Can anybody? You guys can't speak, but anybody in here, can you name me what the best picture was this year? Just mouth it or use sign language.
Oh, no. Were there movies made this year?
What was the best picture this year? No idea.
Probably some B-rated movie.
It's usually some artsy-fartsy foreign film, and they give it to that nobody watches but has some like woke message to it, and that's the best film.
Didn't the guy that played Medea, didn't he give a real good speech?
Who?
The guy that played Medea.
Tyler Perry?
Yeah. He did. A slightly conservative one. Everybody was shocked.
Yeah. I just saw it on Facebook. I just scrolled through it.
And I guess Ricky Gervais was
he's always
kind of opposing, too. That was good.
Did they let him on the show?
I'm surprised they let him on.
I can't believe it.
They probably can't find anybody else to do it. He's like the only person willing to do it.
Oh, by the way, if a black person gives a conservative speech, you will never find it on the internet.
No.
Because they're like, we need to scrub that right now.
I saw one headline about that since then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just pathetic. But they infest everything, and it's funny because they talk about systemic racism, and like racism is in every institution, academia, Hollywood, financial, everything. But all of those institutions are run by liberals. It's like maybe liberals are. I think what they do. I think they do their little these white suburban housewives and their little Black Lives Matter, and all that stuff that they do. I think it's because they're racist.
Well, they're making themselves feel better.
They don't. Yeah, they're racist, so they have to try to overcompensate by doing all this stupid stuff. But they just infest everything. Everybody's so woke. I'm so tired of everybody being woke. Woke is a great word, by the way. It just is. Woke is a great insulting word.
Yeah, well, the article I read about the was it the Grammys? Is that what we were talking about?
Oscars.
The Oscars was they were talking about how low the ratings have been, the lowest they've been in so many years, a lot of years.
Yeah.
And whoever wrote the article, I remember what it says, go woke, go broke.
Yep.
It was...
Get woke, go broke.
Get woke, go broke, yeah.
Last year was the lowest rated Oscars in, I think, 20 or 30 years. And this year's Oscars was 64% below that.
It was at like 9 million, I think. And
9 million people.
Like, I think 5-6 years ago, it was like 30 million. Or I'm probably wrong on that number, but it was ridiculously high.
And 9 million people, that sounds like a lot. Shoot, we would really like for 9 people to watch this program.
That's true.
But 9 million people, but we'll never. Maybe in 100 years we might. No, we won't ever get close to that either.
No,
we might hit 900, but.
I'd be happy with that.
I'd be happy with that. It'd be great, man. 900 people that we've absolutely corrupted. Oh, that'll look good before God one day, won't it?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, standing before God. He's going, hey, we got a podcast here. You want to watch it?
Yeah, you want to be reminded of what you said?
I'm going to have to give an account for every idle word. Oh, no.
No.
I'm in a lot of trouble.
We need this a lot.
I know. Did we really say nipple in that program? Oh, my gosh.
At least 15 times.
At least 15 times.
During one episode.
But guys have them, too. We talk about them.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but they come up every once in a while.
Guys have them too.
I don't know, but if that air on, because I'm getting really hot all of a sudden.
My nipples, speaking of which, are still sticking out, so cutting through the shirt.
All right,
so it's
we don't want to talk about that because, like I said, we can't. If I wore a tight shirt, that's all you'd focus on the entire time. I'd be like, my gosh, look at those things. Put somebody's eye out. Look at that. All right. So we want to get Pineapple. I'm reading a fantastic book. If you ever get a chance to do it, it's called Righteous Indignation by Andrew Breitbart, who was killed by the FBI, by the way. And he goes out to get his trash and has a heart attack. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But he has a section in there. It's cheap. It came out in 2011. Go and get it. But he has one section in there that's worth the price of the book where he talks about critical theory, not critical race theory, but critical theory. He talks about how all these guys in the 1930s, these Germans, started creating this stuff, and which I believe that Hoosier Hillbilly, I think he believes in it. Because basically here's what critical theory is.
Because I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
You use big words.
I know, but critical theory.
So, dumb it down.
You had these guys in 1930s in Germany who were so radical, Adolf Hitler kicked them out.
Yeah.
Guess who picked them up? America. Because we're loving. We have open borders. Come on in. Free chili.
Yeah. NASA has been known
We'll put you in a cage.
Yeah. We'll put you in a cage. And then we'll give you $1 million. And so all these guys came over here. And guess what? The more crazy you are, you're going to get a job at Harvard. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did. And they got into the educational institutions. And then that's what happened.
I
and
agree.
that's why all the college students are crazy today.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this stuff But critical theory, you just read that section where he explains what it is. It's worth the price of the book because, in essence, he does a better job of it. I'm going to give you the real short version. The critical theory was basically whatever the status quo is, we're going to destroy it. That's why I believe Mike adheres to it, because everything that people like, Mike hates.
Yep. It is true.
Just so he opposes.
Right. And then just as soon as what he likes becomes popular, then he hates that. That's critical theory.
Yeah, because there's probably a reason everybody's liking it. I probably should.
That's what it is. It's critical theory. It's a destruction of the status quo, no matter what that is. And so all of a sudden, if black lives really start mattering all of a sudden, then they're going to come out with a group and say, kill all black people. That's what it's going to be. Got to destroy the status quo. We're not advocating that. I'm just saying something here, because that's the only thing people are going to pull from this. Yeah. He said that. And so, but that's what it's fascinating. So get the book. I know none of you will, but because none of you read unless it has pictures, but get it and look it up, because it's really good stuff. And
I listen to books. That counts.
Yeah. I listen to books with pictures.
Listen to them with pictures?
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that.
I just ride along in silence.
It's called TV.
TV.
It's called TV. Books with pictures.
I know. Oh, yeah, I got a comic book. I listened to a comic book. I guess you could do that. It has words in it.
Could. Yeah. Would be very descriptive.
It's called a cartoon.
I saw the Mortal Kombat movie.
Okay, give me
don't get on it, please.
Honest opinion.
You brought it up.
Don't get on. I know.
You're the one that brought it up.
I just made a casual observation here. I don't want to lecture about.
He's asking what you thought about it.
He's going to get into Mortal Kombat dogma here in a second.
No, yes, I am a nerd, so
I thought the movie was good.
It wasn't bad.
I like the fight scenes. They did a really good job with that. I'm not too big on the story, but I thought it was good.
Yeah, if you liked it, you're probably not big on the story.
I'm not. I mean, you just sit there and watch. I watch it for entertainment and stuff like that.
It was a good.
So a lot of people like this movie, so you're not going to like it, Mike.
100%
exactly.
Agreed with that.
We have an inside joke that Mike says, you know what? I hated that movie. It's like we go out and buy it.
Yeah.
Because we know it's
fantastic.
fantastic.
They'll probably love it.
And that's the way he is with everything. But I thought it was pretty good. But the thing is like, you can't read books or stuff like that before you actually watch movies, because they ruin it in movies.
Yes, they do.
I'm a big fan of Vince Flynn and the American Assassin movies, and they just ruined that movie. It's books, the American Assassin books, and they ruined it with the movie. And they're not going to come out with another one. It's like, you can't develop a character. I don't know. I feel like crying about this stupid book. All right. So we're going to get in. We promised you that we're going to talk about things that are not in the Bible. And I'm going to tell you, folks, this is probably going to go over several weeks now, because I'm up to 70.
Oh, wow.
And things keep adding every week. And so I got this list off of Christian Post.
Okay, we don't have the same list then.
Okay. Well, I promise you that what you have is on here. It's on here. And Sweet Tony dropped some things off. Mike didn't do nothing this week, so he didn't. No preparation whatsoever. Yeah.
Sticking with the character.
But this guy, I don't know who put this together. His name is not in here. But what's funny is, like, if you're ever going to write, like in a blog, a Christian blog, don't make your picture look like Zoolander when you do it.
Oh, seriously, they did?
Yeah, it was like
that's phenomenal.
It was like a male glamour shot, you know. And he was sitting there doing blue steel and everything. It's like, dude, tone it down, man. And
I mean, did you give him just a little bit of respect, though? I mean,
no.
Blue steel commands respect.
Blue steel, I mean, it was something else. Derek Zoolander threw it out there, and it was powerful.
It was wonderful.
All right, so here we're going to get into things that are not in the Bible, and we have not seen. I had not gone through this list. I printed this off, and you just wouldn't imagine the amount of prep we do for this program. I know that you can tell by what you see.
Oh, I've prepped before. It's just the topic gets changed before we start. So.
Yeah, that's I own the bunker, so I can talk about whatever I want to. So we come in here, and I usually give them a list of what we're going to talk about. Then I do change it, and so but I do talk about.
So if we seem unprepared, that's why.
So we can prepare it. All right. So we're just going to go through this. I'm still thinking about my Veggie Tales song and how I should market that. I thought it was pretty good.
That is pretty good.
All right.
He would get royalties even if you parodied it. So,
wouldn't? Like Weird Al?
Yeah.
Weird Al could do the Veggie Tales song.
Oh,
that would be really fantastic. But he wouldn't put great lyrics in there. He'd be afraid to. All right, things are not in the Bible. We're going to offend you. You're going to be upset because you're going to be lying. Well, my mama told me that was, well, it's not, no. But like I said, there's going to be some things where this guy says it's not in the Bible, and all three of us are going to be like, oh, is it? we don't know. You're pastors. You're supposed to know this stuff. It's like, look,
just because we're pastors doesn't
I
mean
know
we
doctrine,
don't learn.
church
I'm
polity,
not a pastor, so
stuff
if
like
I don't
that.
know, it's acceptable.
Right. So I'm just like, there are things I worry about and pay attention to, and then there's things I don't care about. So there will be things in here maybe that you would know and not know. Number one, we're not going to go through all 70 tonight.
Ooh,
right?
Thank goodness.
Yeah, so if you went in the kitchen to prepare a meal because you think you're going to be sitting around for a little while, no. We're going to hit a few of them, and then we'll come back and hit the rest later on. This may take a few weeks because we're going to talk about some controversial things in here. We're going to talk about some issues, church membership, drinking, things like that. So we might spend some time on that. The drinking episode, one you want to turn into, that's going to be great because we're really going to blow your mind about that one.
I will be preparing for that one.
Yes, he will. That's right.
Yes, even though the views,
I don't know.
Even though the views are lower, our most watched episode is the ones that mention keg and the one that mentions cussing.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
There's a reason for that.
So there's a reason for that because people want to find out what people
what they can't get away
whether
with.
they can do it or not. That's right.
Yeah, and then after they find out what you think about it, that's when your views really go low after that. So, all right, number one, things are not in the Bible. Angels with wings.
Not in the Bible.
Not in the Bible. There's no angels with wings.
That would be.
I think our lists are the same somehow.
But
they come from different places.
But angels are ninjas.
With swords. Thank you. I mentioned that.
It doesn't say they're not.
Night.
It is, right?
But it was the Bible series.
The Bible series, when those, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but when those guys came out and they were ninjas, I thought, that's awesome.
That is my guardian angel.
That is my guardian angel.
100%.
He is, man. He's like the Big Show.
The way I look at it is,
ninja.
the way I look at it is prove it wrong.
Well, there's no way you can.
Exactly.
There's no way you
guardian
can.
Angel with samurai swords.
Yeah. So my angel's gonna, be like John Wick who looks like Fabio. That's what it's gonna be. So all the young people are like, who's Fabio?
Yeah, who's Fabio?
Look
the
up
picture
kids.
of Jesus that you think you know. That's Fabio.
That's Fabio.
Yeah.
It's Jesus with muscles. How's that? Does that help you out? Angels, no angels with wings. I thought that was pretty interesting. But I can't watch a show like that. I can't watch The Chosen. I can't watch the Bible series because my wife sits over there with a Bible out.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's not in the Bible. That's not in the Bible. That's what she does the entire time. So she takes all the joy. She just sucks all the joy out of it. But they take certain liberties with that. Everybody loves The Passion of the Christ, but Mel Gibson took some liberties with it.
Yep. Everybody should watch The Chosen. By the way.
Chosen's great.
Okay. Oh,
but
Mike likes it. I'm not watching it.
Oh,
he did. I even saw him get a little misty-eyed over The Chosen.
I've never in my life cried during a film.
I said misty-eyed.
Was that before or after he shaved a beard?
Oh, this was last year.
That was before I had a beard, so it was okay to cry.
Okay,
that's a metrosexual.
You were a metrosexual
version of
then.
me.
That's fine.
So now it's okay again.
Mm-hmm.
The devil is a male. It's not necessarily in the Bible.
He's transgender.
Actually, that word is
He's whatever he wants to be.
That word's on the list.
Is that the word? Androgynous?
Sure.
That word is on the list, by the way, because it doesn't exist in the Bible. Transgenderism.
That's true. Did you know that?
But does it not? Yeah. Does it not claim to use the word "he" at some point?
It does. Well, he is the father of lies. Yeah, it does say that.
Yeah.
So it does. It does. But Lucifer in the original Hebrew is translated as Pat. So we really don't know.
Ooh, yeah.
Pat?
It's
With a T?
Yeah.
P-A-T?
P-A-T, Pat.
Was that SNL?
So you really don't know if it's a male or female. I'm just kidding with you guys. Good
that
gosh, man.
Was that SNL?
You're like, really?
I remember.
Let me tell you something, folks. All you got to do is say in the Hebrew it says this, and nobody will challenge
Nobody
you
can
on it.
refute it. Yeah.
Right.
They're
That's
just
one
learning.
rule. The next rule is this. When you get to a word in the Bible that you don't know how to pronounce, just pronounce it.
Say it with
authority, and
Own
everybody be like, well, I've been saying it wrong forever.
Yep.
Because they'll think you know what you're talking about.
Well, because you're a pastor, so
Because
you know
you're a
what
pastor,
talking
right?
about.
And that's what we do in seminary all the time. We just sit around and learn how to say superlapsarianism and words like that. That's what we do. We had a course on that.
Until you have another pastor sitting out in front of you and he calls you out when you say
Right,
words
you're not
wrong.
saying that correctly. You know, the hyper-Calvinist sitting there going... Which, by the way, JR's a hyper-Calvinist. Just want you guys to know that.
I'm not.
So
We'll talk about election one of these days.
oh, yeah, we want to get an election one of these days. We'll have a great time with that. We'll
Yeah,
spend
we
a
will.
lot of time on that. And that'll be our biggest program because all the Calvinists would tune in for that. Any account of the Battle of Armageddon? They gathered for battle, but does it say they actually fight?
No, in fact, we just studied this in Revelation this year,
Right.
just a couple weeks ago, because the battle is over by the word of Jesus. It's just done.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
he
no fight.
speaks, the sword from his mouth, and it's over. There's no battle. That's right. We show up, but we missed it, apparently.
So all those prophetic movies in the 80s were wrong.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
The Late Great Planet Earth by Hal Lindsey. I went actually to a movie theater and saw that.
Yeah.
By the way, anybody who predicts something calls himself a prophet. If they're wrong, we're supposed to stone them.
False prophet.
I miss the Old Testament.
There were a lot of false prophets in 2020.
Yes, there was.
From
And in 2000.
from
Or
things that they...
1999. Was it 2000 was going to be the end of the
Yeah,
world?
1999.
How many pastors came out with prophetic words last year about how Trump was going to remain our president?
Oh, that's true. I love how liberals are with like Al Gore, because Al Gore just it's going to end this year. It's going to end next year.
Yeah.
Well, the year after that. And they're just like, yeah, he's awesome. I got a prediction for you. Al Gore's going to die next year.
Next year?
Mm-hmm.
And if not,
And he's going to die the year after.
there you go. That's a great prediction.
That is.
He will eventually die.
And people need to worship me because I said that. I talked last week, like, Maxine Waters, she would make a good face for Satan.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. So Maxine Waters, she's that senator one's always out there. The female senator is always out there telling people that BLM, they ought to kill more white people. That's. So yeah, if you know who, look up Maxine Waters, and when you look it up, you'll say, "Oh my gosh, that's the face of Satan," and you just put that on there. Either her or Greta Thunberg.
I thought you were talking about the shrunken head-looking lady from Illinois.
No, that's the one from Detroit.
Oh my gosh, the one that looks like Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't say it 3 times. She'll show up.
I know it, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she does. She looks like Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
The
she
mayor of
does.
Chicago
She really
looks like
does.
Beetlejuice.
Was it Chicago or Detroit?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
She looks like Beetlejuice. But
Yeah.
Greta Thunberg, who, if you don't know her, she's like the teenager who becomes this
She's
voice
a revolutionary.
for the environmental movement out there, which
Because we destroyed her childhood.
we destroyed her
something like
childhood and all this. And, she's the one that stood in front of the UN with all those people and dignitaries out there.
As her parents are rich enough, apparently sail around the world
Yeah.
on their sailboat.
And she's like, how dare
She had a terrible childhood, apparently.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what she says. She's this day just like it came out of the Bible.
I just want to be in an auditorium sometimes when she's speaking and she says something like that, and someone will scream for the background, "Bite me!" I just do. Somebody needs to tell that teenager to shut up. Shut up and go make a sandwich. Oh, we just lost more viewers.
It was too late for this thing.
Well,
Okay.
I think I'm going to talk about this Sunday. I'm not actually, since you're pastor, you have to do the sermon series, and since I'm pastor emeritus, I can preach on whatever I want to.
Wait a minute.
So-
I thought you had a topic already.
Well, it changed.
Well, we're skipping it then.
I have to preach what the Lord lays on my heart.
Oh, I've had weeks like that. It's usually what I want.
That's what everybody says. Like, I got to preach what the Lord lays on my heart, and I'm going to do. And then they give you the sermon series they're going to be doing all year. It's like, wow,
yeah,
God does that for you? Holy cow! I'm week to week,
whole year in advance.
Well, I need to pray more. I think I'm going to talk about how climate change is new religion.
Oh,
because it is. It really is. These people. You think they're harmless. Oh my gosh, they would sacrifice their children to the earth. Which, by the way, the guy who invented, or did you say that in my post on Facebook? The guy who founded Earth Day killed his girlfriend and composted her.
Wow.
I'm sorry, that's not funny.
Recently?
I don't know why.
Wow, that's
is this recent?
No, it was several years ago.
Oh.
Composted his girlfriend. Well, at least he cares about the earth.
He put nutrients back in the ground, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean,
so when your kids are going to school and they're going out there and planting a little plant out there in the ground, celebrating Earth Day, just remember that ground probably contains the remains of some individual that was killed on behalf of the earth. Oh, they're nuts. I'm the only sane person on the planet. No, I guess the people in this room, we're the only sane people on the planet.
Except for the closet liberal.
The only people who watch this show, you're the only sane people on the planet. And our token liberal that we have here.
Token, that's what it was.
Yeah, token Cameron.
Token Cameron. Still not as good as Shut Up Cameron. But
It's not as good, yeah. We'll come. All right, female angels. No female angels in the Bible. They're too busy making sandwiches in the kitchen. Oh, my God.
that goes right along with obedience, so yeah, I'm
right.
game with that.
That'd go along fine.
Yeah.
No female angels. That little precious moments Bible you have, you're going to have to get rid of it.
How many times he's going to say this one?
Gabriel, actually in Hebrew, this is true, means God's intimidator.
Really?
Oh.
So I'm going to name my next dog Gabriel.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And I can't do that because I'll stand before God. You're like, remember when you named my dog Gabriel? I'm really worried about standing before God and giving account of every idle word. I'm really worried about that. Well, Lee, then stop doing it. I just can't. I don't know what it is.
Can't help myself.
I can't help myself. It just pops out there. Okay, here we go. These two on either side of me and the rest of them in the room here, I've been doing a 9-month study on the book of Revelation.
We ought to know everything about it.
You know, it should.
Unless it's in chapter 22.
Yeah.
So I'm really going to
to
throw it out here. A singular apocalyptic Antichrist figure.
Incorrect.
No, in fact, our little group has come up with our own little term as the Evil Trinity.
Yes.
Ooh, who's that?
Because he mimics the Trinity that we do believe in.
That's true.
Talking about the dragon and the beast and the deceiver, spirit-like deceiver. Yeah, so it's never central. There's always three.
Right. Yep. Well, John uses Antichrist in the plural, and basically when John uses it, the spirit of Antichrist is basically anybody who's not a Christian.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody who's not a Christian has the spirit of Antichrist. They're anti-Christ. They're anti-Christian.
Yeah.
And I know lots of people don't like to hear that, but that's true. I mean, you're if you haven't followed Christ, if you haven't made that decision to do that, you're anti-Christ.
Yeah.
And it's the spirit of Antichrist. But we've also talked about how, Satan doesn't. If there is this certain apocalyptic figure at the end called the singular Antichrist, then there would have to always be one here on the earth. And so I still think it's Barack Obama. It just hadn't happened yet. I thought that several years ago.
I don't think he descended from the right place.
Where's he
That's a different discussion.
Oh my gosh! See, I'm out of my league here because I'm not a Revelation guy.
That doesn't make me accurate. I'm just saying.
Hey, you shouldn't have said that. You should have just kept
Then
going
again,
with it.
we can't prove where Barack Obama came from. So
Kenya. He came from Kenya. Everybody knows that. Even our token liberal over here knows that. So
he's got a new name. No, it's like it's the Hoosier hillbilly Mike Paul. Now it's the token liberal Shut Up Cameron.
Yeah, there we go.
You got a whole long list of names there.
Yeah, and the hyper Calvinist J.R. Robinson. And the luscious Lee
I
Brown.
just focus on what the Bible says. The words it
That sounds like a hyper Calvinist.
Wow! Yes, you're right,
does,
Mr. Super Spiritual J.R. Robinson.
uses. Super Christian.
Super Christian J.R. Robinson. SC J.R. Robinson.
You put SC after my name,
There you go.
like it's a title.
Yeah. J.R. Robinson, SC. Super Christian. What? The people mocked Noah? That's not in the Bible.
It is not.
You mean Veggie Tales was wrong? Yeah. Yeah, Veggie Tales was wrong in a lot of stuff.
Now, people probably thought he was crazy, but there's no proof that they mocked him.
Right.
Somebody building a boat in a place that it had not rained yet would have seemed crazy.
Yeah.
But we don't want to talk about the ark because we do. Ken Ham's going to get on this.
Yeah, let's avoid
say
that like the plague.
Ken, we are so sorry.
Yeah.
You know, you and Mike Winger, I'm petrified of you guys.
Yeah. Don't step on either one of their toes.
But Ken Ham, my gosh, dude, grow a mustache. He's got that little Abraham Lincoln beard going on.
Yeah, the poor guy.
That's the only thing I can look at when he's talking. It's like, what, you can't grow the rest of it? I mean,
some people can't grow awesome beards. Some people can.
I went to an exhibit one time at the Creation Museum, and you actually sit in there and they talk about stuff, and they actually had this little thing when they talked about water or something, like it splashed water on you.
I don't remember.
Out of the back of the seat, but shoot
Is that
water
holy water?
Yeah. I think that happened, or maybe I just dreamt it.
Maybe somebody spit on you. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe the guy was peeing on stage. I don't know.
Yeah, that was weird.
Maybe he's on a drunk bend. You know. Maybe he's on a bender or something like that. I don't know. Hey, watch this, kids. You want to see a rainbow? Watch that light over there. All right. Speaking of, there is no word for halo.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't have wings, they don't have halos.
Yeah, there's no halos. Oh my! We're starting you off easy. We're really going to destroy you later on. Really, you're going to be sitting in a corner and sucking your thumb in the fetal position. Any prohibitions against certain kinds of cuss words?
Right.
We talked about
against
that.
specific words. They're not
specific
mentioned.
words. No,
right?
Not mentioned.
We talked about that. Don't curse people, but you know, if you let one fly every once in a while, you're not going to hell.
You throw pineapple.
Right. Just say get real man. Say pineapple.
Yeah.
It works for us. I was saying pineapple a little while ago when those dogs started barking. Pineapple, pineapple, pineapple.
At least that's what you'll hear in the edited version. Okay.
Right, exactly. Any encouragement to celebrate Advent or Lent? Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for having the guts to say that. I'm sure he got death threats.
Oh, yeah, without doubt.
Yeah. It's because everybody's like, what are you doing? What are you guys doing for Advent? Nothing. Same thing we do every year. Nothing. Same thing I've done for the past 30 years. Nothing. What are you doing for Lent? Nothing. You go to these restaurants and like McDonald's will be serving fish on Fridays.
I want a hamburger.
Yeah, I want a hamburger. I want 10 hamburgers.
What hamburgers you got?
And if the car behind me has rosary beads hanging from the rearview mirror, give them a hamburger too.
I'm buying it.
Yeah, I'm buying
I'll
it.
pay for it.
By the way, if any Catholics are in the restaurant, I'm buying hamburgers for all of them. In fact, I'm going to come in dressed like a cow.
It keeps getting worse.
It's just like, what is, you know, it's like beef is the kryptonite or something on Fridays. It's like, you know, there's things, hey, we talk about the Baptist churches and Protestant religion all the time.
We talk about them all. That's how we get away with it.
And this stuff, you Catholics, you doing this stuff, it's stupid.
Wow, I dropped the S-bomb right there.
Well, it is stupid. I mean, seriously. I mean, there's things Protestant churches do that is stupid. This is stupid. Advent's stupid.
Let's clarify. He didn't call Catholics stupid.
No, he said
they do things that are stupid.
Yes.
Because we've already been down that road last year.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll say stuff like, this particular thing that you're doing is stupid, and the next thing you know, I'm calling that person stupid.
Yeah.
You know.
Good
Which apparently,
clarification,
if that's the case, then I'm stupid because that's what my wife says all the time. Quit acting stupid. All right, any English version of the Bible with God's pronoun capitalized?
Yeah, so you mentioned this a few weeks back, that the word he or his was never capitalized, and it is true.
Yep.
It's lowercase.
Really?
It's us that feel the need to capitalize it.
But you still won't write it with a lowercase
No,
a.
absolutely not.
Just in case.
Yeah,
just in case.
I can't do it right now. It's like you try to do it. It's like, I can't
The
do
pen
it.
is blue, or whatever that was. It's like, yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Trying to write.
You've been like
Liar.
you've been like typing, and you know, like you put Jesus in, and you look at it's lowercase. You're like,
Yep.
oh my gosh!
Yep.
I'm gonna come back and
Now,
straighten it
Jesus is capitalized.
out. Yeah, because it's a word.
Now is it just?
Are you getting hot?
Oh, my eyes are sweating, apparently.
Well, it's hot in
It's
here.
burning.
Is it just he or his, or is it the actual? Is it God?
God is capitalized.
No, that's okay. That's what
there are little G's
sure.
in the Bible too, but they're talking about false.
Other different gods. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just clarifying.
So it's never. Now, if you have the New Living Translation, who knows what it says? Yeah.
So easily flipped on that.
They
That
probably
was like
call
your
it-
top 2
yeah.
for the last 20 years.
They probably call him Bubba. And then Bubba saw it was good.
Must be the Southern version.
Man, we just translated it, man. You know? Yeah. By the way, don't read commentaries either. Because the guy who's sitting there writing a commentary that you just stake your entire Christian life on could be sitting there watching porn on one side and drinking a whole case of PBR on the other, and he's writing this. I'll just write this. Watch this. And you guys are like, well, my commentary says this, but you don't know anything about the person writing the commentary.
Yeah.
You don't. Your pastor gets up there, he tells you something, you're like, well, I don't believe that. And you read a commentary, and you're like, sure, it sounds good to me. Seriously.
Yeah. It's written in the Bible. It's got to be right?
Yeah.
It's
references
in the Bible with the rest of the Bible.
References are good. Straight
References
up
are good.
opinionated commentary is not.
Right. But you won't believe what your pastor's saying, but then somebody writing a commentary, it could be an albino, midget, transgender, lesbian, whatever, and you're just guys, okay.
There's not enough pineapples for all this.
Well, I just accept it as gospel because he wrote it. No offense against albino, midget, lesbians.
They don't like that word.
It's little people.
Little people.
Little people.
They even like dwarves better than
Okay.
that word.
Dwarves, albino dwarves.
Oh, my eyes are sweating.
Oh,
We're going to need a publicist.
yeah. Any mention of birth control?
Yeah, we have the same list.
Be fruitful and multiply. Go, go, go.
Oh, the Catholics believe firmly in that.
Yes, they do. Yep. But no fish on Fridays. No beef on Fridays.
No beef.
No
yeah.
beef on Fridays. Right. So I'm wondering, like, I'm just going to say something. I don't know if
He's going to say it anyway. I know. He's going to stop and then think about it and then go ahead and say it. Exactly. Just say it. I've got this. I'm ready.
No, I mean, okay, it's like if a Catholic man comes home on Fridays and his wife has like a fish necklace around her neck, does that make her like super sexy?
That's for a couple weeks ago.
Oh my gosh.
Included that.
There's nothing in the Bible that says that we're supposed to be our brother's keeper.
Okay. It sounds incorrect, but obviously it's on your list.
Cain simply, he asked the question. Well, we don't know if this dude's right. But Cain
Says, am I this? Yeah.
Am I my brother's keeper?
And he was being...
What was the answer?
And I think he was being sarcastic,
He was.
deflecting.
He
Yeah.
was. Yeah, he was
It's like,
talking
what is it,
smack.
my day to watch him?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Any mention of the New Testament church celebrating Ash Wednesday or any biblical suggestion to do so in the future?
Yeah, that's right up there with those other days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Folks, you may not like the Catholic Church, and they're Catholic believers in Jesus Christ out there.
Yeah.
You do so many things that the Catholic Church tells you to do, though. That's what's funny.
Without question.
Because you'll have a Protestant like, man, those Catholics are just... And you do everything they tell you to do.
Yeah.
So all these traditions that you celebrate all have origins in Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great book out there called Pagan Christianity. Read it. It'll make you mad, but it'll tell you where all this stuff comes from.
Catholic or Methodist origins.
Yes,
all this stuff
absolutely.
That we do. Yeah.
An apple in the Garden of Eden. It was only mention of fruit.
Man, I was going to use that joke to
Yeah,
make fun
try
of
it
your new
now. Me and the token liberal. We
Wow.
got that one.
Y'all got that one? Y'all knew that one?
No, they
He was
got
going to
iPhones.
use.
is what
We have
they said.
iPhones, so there's the.
Oh my gosh, you're
the
right.
phone it's an apple with a bite taken out of it.
Okay, how's that not demonic?
You just said
Because
right
it's not in the
there,
Bible.
it's not in the Bible. So, bleh.
But you know what they were trying to do.
No, maybe they know Scripture and they know it wasn't in the Bible.
Apple does.
A pentagram's not in the Bible, but you know what it is.
I'm just saying. Maybe they know Scripture and they know it wasn't
Okay.
how it was.
Any suggestion that clergy should perform marriages?
Yep.
If you want to get a good living, I say this sincerely. If you want to make good money, go get ordained and say, I'll do funerals and weddings.
Oh yeah.
That's all you have to
You
do.
actually don't even need that in our home state. You just have to be, by word or by signature, a lay person in a church, and you can perform a marriage
Yeah.
in this state.
I can perform a marriage if y'all sign it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Wonderful.
We just
Found my
hold
side
you up
gig.
to some title, and now you can do it.
I don't like titles though, man. Can I go back on what we said earlier? And I want my title back.
Any ordained clergy in the early church at all? Ordination.
It says they gathered to listen to the apostles' teaching. Whether they were clergy or ordained, I guess, is up for discussion. But that's what they did.
He gave to the church apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers, but didn't say anything about them being ordained. Ordained means set apart. I mean,
Yeah.
I no ordination service or anything like that.
No.
I had one of those.
I don't. There wasn't anything about like professional. Well, Paul does talk about that.
He talks about
those
financially supporting somebody like that.
Right.
in the church.
They're worthy of a double honor, especially those who labor in preaching and teaching. So yeah. So it's nothing wrong with paying your pastor, your worship leader. Yeah. Yeah, just keep paying that worship leader. Let him go out and buy some more skinny jeans. Instead of doing fog machines in church, why don't you just give everybody, all the guys, cigars?
We could take care of the fog problem.
We can take care of the fog problem easy, man.
Yeah, we could.
But fog machines smell like syrup.
Did it really?
They do.
I wouldn't know. Do you snort them?
No, we
Yeah,
had a
fog-
fog machine for a short time in a previous church.
Well, you just-
and
you
every
just-
time we
oh,
turned
okay.
it on, I was like, man, it smells like breakfast.
You
in
had a
here."
fog machine in your previous church?
for a period.
Yeah.
Really?
We didn't like it.
Yeah.
We sent it back.
Okay. Gay. It is, man. That is just, it just is. Oh, gosh. A fog machine. Why
sent it back.
don't you put stripper poles in? Same thing? All right.
Right.
Any in the Bible explanation as to how we switch from worship on Saturday to Sunday?
Because the Catholics did it.
Exactly.
Well, if you break
And-
down, hold on. You break down your timeline. You were talking about on Resurrection Sunday, not Easter, but Resurrection Sunday.
Right.
You were saying that 6 p.m. Saturday becomes Sunday. So is that how we did that?
It could have been. I don't know. But Saturday was the Sabbath for them. So,
Right.
and their days started differently than ours, and so I don't want to get into that. But yeah,
That's
there's a difference.
discussion for a different day.
Yeah, but everybody's just like, you got to worship at 10 o'clock. But it's not just Sunday. It's got to be between the hours of 9 and 11.
Yeah.
If you go to 12, you're too weird.
So we don't do worship then at our church?
No, because we worship on Sunday nights.
We're pagans.
We are. Awesome. This guy says that Jesus was not a carpenter.
I don't believe the Bible.
I don't believe there's any proof that he was.
That he worked with stone.
It was probably more along the lines of stonemason.
The
And
Greek
then he
word
was
is right
really
there.
jacked. Like,
The word is right there.
The tecton.
Tecton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that
It just
little
means builder.
that little effeminate homosexual Jesus that you worship,
that wasn't him.
that was not him.
If he was a stonemason, he was pretty tough.
He
Dude.
was tough, dude.
Now, if we're on the same list, this next one will be controversial.
Any sense that communion, baptism, sin management, so we can get to heaven someday, were central to the teachings of Jesus?
No.
What was central to the teaching of Jesus?
Follow me.
That's what he told him.
I mean, that's.
However,
In some weird way, he's right.
that's
he does mention
Hillbilly knows.
baptism once, and he says it's important because it's what my Father considers to be required.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but that's the only time he mentions baptism like that. So.
But he taught. I mean, his message was about lordship and kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times did he tell people to follow him? Like,
Yeah,
follow me.
but it was
You
about
can't do it,
yeah.
you know.
His thing. It was never. It wasn't ever a list of do's and don'ts about things you shouldn't be doing to keep your Christianity, or things if you do it you'll lose your Christianity, and we've talked about this. We talk about this all the time at our church. It's not about the things that you don't do; it's about the things you do. And there are certain things you're supposed to abstain from because the Bible tells you to do that. But we get so caught up, we're so fanatical about these lists, and that's what the problem that Jesus had with the Pharisees. They were so caught up in what not to do that they failed to do the things that they should do. And that's to me, that's central to his teaching. Jonah was not eaten by a whale, swallowed by a whale.
It says great fish.
Yeah, Jesus never uttered the word grace.
Did you skip right over the whale that quick?
That
you
is.
did.
Yeah.
Whales are mammals. That's why this is important. Fish are not. So
okay.
that's a complete delineation between a whale and a fish.
You see that preparation there?
So is that why Catholics only eat fish on Friday? Because you're trying to identify with Jonah?
No, I don't know that.
Would they eat a whale? Well, you can't eat a whale. It's not a fish.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll dress up as a whale. Lee, you won't have too far to go, buddy.
Oh.
The Vikings ate whale just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't sleep on the beach. People try to roll me back into the water.
Shots fired on yourself.
Yeah, you've
So
heard that
Jesus
before.
uttering the word grace. Huh. I didn't see
We'll
that.
have to look that up, folks. We don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we have to...
Check your commentary. If they tell you it's okay, it's right. It's
We have
right.
to define uttering.
You albino dwarf.
Uttering the word
did
or
he
using the
say-
word. That's different.
Yeah.
Let's see that.
Any word for faith, as we understand it in the Old Testament. Righteousness. It was accounted to him as righteousness. Righteousness is what they always
The
talk
word
about.
faith in the Old Testament, yes.
Yeah.
Because faith was New Covenant.
I got a question for you. Ready?
Probably not, but go
All right.
ahead.
That's true. Paul said to study to show thyself approved. I'm doing the King James Version.
Wow. Please rephrase that so Hillbilly can understand.
Study to show yourself approved. Rightly divided in word of truth.
Oh, I saw this. I saw this.
But what
on
did
here.
they study? Because they didn't have the
They
New
didn't have the
Testament.
Bible. What did they study?
Or they didn't have, he had the Bible.
And he was writing to a Gentile church.
I mean, they still had access to at least the first 5 books, did they not?
I guess.
Just
Old
scrolls
Testament
of some
scrolls,
sort,
or
yeah.
whatever. I mean, how many copies of the scrolls?
But why was
did
he
they have?
telling Gentiles to study
Yeah.
Jewish faith, basically?
Yeah, one of the things is when you bring up something, always know where the reference is before you start talking
It was
about
a prophetic.
I can't think of where it is.
It was a prophetic word for
I don't know if
us.
he was talking to Jewish.
That's what it was.
Look that up real quick. We'll find that out. We're going to consult a commentary.
Google.
Yeah.
That's who we're going to consult.
I can't do that. Internet's not going to work.
Yeah. We're too far underground for the internet to work.
Discipleship is not necessarily in the Bible. It's a made-up word based on a military Latin mistranslation of Matthias.
Well, if you look at the word bold there, discipleship actually fails spell check every time.
Yeah, discipleship's not really a word.
Yep. Now, disciple is definitely mentioned in the Bible
Yeah.
several
Yes,
times, but
yeah.
discipleship
Not
is
discipleship.
something that we've made up. It's
We have
not-
made up in the church.
Go and make disciples.
Yeah. We call that
Right,
discipleship.
we call that discipleship,
that
but it's actually a
discipleship.
made-up word.
It is a made up word, but it's still a thing.
What is discipleship?
Discipleship is making disciples.
Okay.
Is it not?
Well, that's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly. So it's a
Well,
made
why
up
can't we just say-
word
why
for
can't
a
we
good
just say-
term.
We had to make it. I guess we had to make it. We're having discipleship classes instead of we're having make a disciples classes.
Yeah, we're having it does sound better.
It does sound better.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Obviously, a Southerner did it because there's way too many words and they wanted.
They're just shortening it up.
All right, shepherds and wise men visiting the baby Jesus at the same time. Yeah,
It still hurts to this day.
we all
I'm not
remember
gonna
that
lie.
story.
It's super simple. Just read Matthew or Luke, and you'll see how this works.
There were not wise men
No.
there at the birth of Jesus. There just wasn't, folks. And that little nativity scene that you have out in front of your church
Oh, we haven't sprung that one on Shut Up, Cameron, yet.
may one day be stolen.
That's one of the prerequisites.
Yeah. Cameron's new to the church, and one thing that you have to swear to and sign in your own blood is that you do not believe that there were wise men there at the birth of Jesus.
We'll get into it.
I'm serious, folks. That nativity scene you have out in front of your church every Christmas, there's people driving
I
by
had to
like me.
I had to destroy my nativity scene basically and
It's
rip the
unbiblical.
wise men off of it so I could move them across the room.
What is so funny is like you go past a church like, we're a Bible believing, teaching church. Come by our live nativity scene where the wise men are right there with Jesus. It's like, no, you are an idiot. And you don't know your Bible.
You do idiotic stuff. Not that
You
you're an
do,
idiot.
yeah, okay. Oh my gosh. Now I've got fact checkers here with me on the program.
We're just trying
We're
to
here
keep
to
it safe.
protect you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Gotcha.
I appreciate that. I remember, here's a story for all you people who don't really care. The first Sunday that we started the church, my first sermon.
Oh.
And I was talking about, it was around Christmas, something like that, and Hoosier Hillbilly came with his wife, and
Never came back after
I
that.
talked about that there were not wise men at the birth of Jesus, and she lost her mind.
She did. You broke us We're like, we're not ever coming back.
She was in shock. They didn't come back for a few months.
Yeah, we're like, oh, this guy's crazy.
That was just too much. That was too much.
Too much.
Them.
He does crazy things.
He does.
Yeah, and that was too much. But they're not there. And in fact, the whole story of the birth of Jesus is messed up.
Yep.
I mean, really, why would he go back to his hometown and then they have the birth in a cave? He's got relatives. He's got family there. It was almost an insult for that to happen. Okay, I'm not going to get into it. I could. Anything in the Bible that says that Jesus was single?
Oh, no.
It doesn't say it.
It doesn't.
You have there's a small following that believe Christ was married.
Oh, they came out. Yeah, Mary Magdalene. They came out with the temptation of Christ, and that was part of the premise in there that he didn't really. I guess his temptation was he didn't want to die because he was married in love, something like that. I don't know.
That's a stretch.
The fact that we will live in heaven forever, we will not. New heaven, new earth. Mm-hmm. It's going to be established here.
In fact, we've been reading Revelation for 9 months, and we haven't lived in heaven yet.
Abraham's bosom.
Oh, now you're getting into intermediate spaces.
Hey, it's there. It talks about it.
No. We can go to purgatory where we have fish Fridays every Friday.
That would be purgatory.
It would be. That's what purgatory is. You go to purgatory, you eat fish every day. You're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of fish. What's funny is like when Protestants do it. It's funny when Protestants.
Yeah, they feel like they're missing out on something, so they just go ahead and do it. Yeah.
You'll see a Protestant come in on Ash Wednesday, or you'll see a Protestant come in and they'll have like they're not eating beef on that Friday. You're like, stop looking at TV.
I'm trying not to.
All right, you really are bad about this. I didn't pay attention to it, but you are like Derek Zoolander looking into the.
He's the tech guy. He's got to look.
He's got to look.
I make sure that button is pushed.
That's true. We did a whole podcast one time without the button pushed. It was the best one we did.
It was. It would have been 1 million followers.
You'll never see it.
Right there. You'll never know.
So we don't live in heaven forever. We come down back here to earth. Which, by the way, listen to me. I'm going to talk real slow so
write it down.
So you liberals and Cameron can understand. All right? We cannot destroy the earth.
Trigger warning.
We cannot.
Any sooner than he wanted it destroyed.
Right.
Yeah.
We just can't do it. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but we can't do it. Did you know the entire population of the world can fit into Alaska with over 2,000 square feet of land between them?
I thought the entire population could fit in Rhode Island or something.
Yeah, they could. Yeah.
Shoulder to shoulder.
They said
I don't want to live like that.
Then they tell you the world's overpopulated.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they live in New York City. Of course you would think that. Yeah. Of course you would think pollution is everywhere. We don't walk out of here, on our land and go, oh man, this smog is killing me. There's nothing out here.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of people who are sitting there and they're making, these people who live in New York are making policy for everybody else.
Yeah. That's the only thing. You want to clean up California? Fine, clean it up.
Yeah.
Don't touch my state. We're fine.
I don't care. But it's just it's funny how people believe that, and then we're overpopulated. They say there are places in the world where you can drive for thousands of miles and never run across somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how about we do this? We just take all the liberals and we put them in Siberia.
You could do that in North Central United States.
What's North Central? Oh no, man, I like North Dakota.
But no, not the liberal. The Dakota.
I'm going there on vacation. I don't want them up there.
I was saying you could go miles and miles without ever seeing anything or anything.
You can,
especially the ranches and stuff, and like Texas and all.
It's
that.
like, do you people ever get out of the city and go somewhere?
No, they don't.
And people in cities don't get driver's license?
Why would they? They don't have a place to park.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine not being able to drive. I'm serious. I cannot imagine not being able to drive.
Just Uber everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. Any suggestion that we should dress up for church?
No.
We wear blue jeans, t-shirts. We're godless pagans. It's like if you want to wear a suit, knock yourself out. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be if you're a woman, dress modest. What's that word?
Modestly.
Man, I can't.
Age
got your name in it.
Will you give to the United Caucasian Fund? A mind is a terrible thing to waste. I was struggling there for a second, man. Any prohibition of gambling?
I don't think we can read about it happening or not happening. gambling?
They would cast lots.
They cast lots a lot, yeah. I don't know. That's a form of gambling.
Poor Matthias. You know? Hey, man, I'm part of the apostles now. Cool.
13.
And they're like Cameron, like, shut up. Nobody cares what you say. And nobody, the Gospel of Matthias, it's like, it's like a Reader's Digest version of something. Nothing in there, bless his heart. But I think one of the reasons, who's going to sit in the end? Who's going to sit on thrones? I mean, is it going to be? There's only 12. I think it's going to be Paul. I think Matthias is out.
Yeah, that would be my personal opinion.
But I think part of the problem is that they casted lots for Matthias. They picked somebody, and they didn't rely on the Holy Spirit. And I think that's why he was never really accepted. Who knows? We're just making this stuff up as we go along.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll be putting on our commentary next year, and that'll make it gospel when we say that. I don't know, but I think air just kicked back on.
It did.
Yeah.
It is cold.
Wow, it feels awesome in here. Anything else? We're about to run out of time. I don't want to go on because right now I can tell people's eyes are starting to glass over by us talking about this stuff.
Oh, we're going to find out if people want to hear Bible stuff on this.
We're only at number 28, so we got a long way to go on this.
We haven't even really hit anything controversial yet.
Well, gambling.
He skipped one.
Can you go
what did he skip?
We'll save it, I guess.
Can you go to the boat?
Why can't you? As long as it's not an addiction. If you just want to go put a couple pennies in the thing and see what you can get, fine. But don't make an addiction out of it. That's like anything else.
Okay, here's my problem with gambling.
Okay.
All right. Who gambles? Do rich people gamble?
9 times out of 10, it's the poor people that shouldn't be gambling anyway.
Yep.
But that's a personal choice.
Oh, right.
They have.
That's fine. So if I go somewhere and I get, $5,000-$10,000, whose money is that?
It's the poor people.
It's the poor people's money. I've gotten rich off poor people. And some kid...
But you're going to give 10% of that to the church, right?
No, exactly.
Oh.
Somebody, some kid went to bed hungry because of their parents' problem, but I got money off of it.
Yeah.
I don't feel right about that.
I can understand.
I'm not going to say, thus saith the Lord, but that's just a personal conviction on my part.
And that's where a lot of this stuff has to come down to.
Yeah.
Sometimes everything's not black and white in the Bible. Sometimes, right? There are topics that don't get addressed or talked about, and it comes down to, if you feel personally convicted about it, then don't do it.
Yeah, and that's what I am. I feel, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a beer, but I feel personally convicted about that. So I just do. Would I take money if somebody donated, if they won the lottery and donated money to church? Absolutely. I just wouldn't connect. I'd build a new building, but I wouldn't connect it to the sanctuary.
Just in case lightning happened to strike.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to put, we'll put that building over there in the corner. We're going to make a gym. That's what we'll do. Because all these churches, they do gyms and stuff like that. I think next week we're going to come back because this is an issue that's been going on in our church right now where we're talking about church membership.
Oh.
And whether or not church membership is a viable option, and is it actually true? Is it actually real? Can it be done today? Something has to be done. I don't know, and we sat there for an hour in our men's Bible study trying to figure this out, but we couldn't figure out the answer. But something has to change somehow, some way.
What do you mean something has to change, and how?
Just how we just do this thing of where people come in and they just hop from church to church to church to church. And look, and I know what I'm talking about is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. So if you want to run in that decathlon this year in the Olympics, you go ahead and believe that because God's going to give you the power to do that. But
you've got an out of context verse show coming soon too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
But something's got to be happening because people go from church to church to church. There's no community anymore. I don't care if your church says community on the outside of it. If you have people who are not committed to what you're doing there and to the people who are there, it's not community.
Well, it's commitment. They're not just signing a ledger, right?
Right.
I would think. I know we haven't talked about membership in our church for a good while, probably since I moved down here.
Yeah.
But I would think that membership with the church comes with expectation and responsibility, and
right.
I think
well, what are you going to do
if that was up front, then they're not in the book, not the book of life, but the book of new life. Then how about that?
How do you do church accountability? How do you do church discipline?
Yeah.
If you don't have membership,
How you do it with membership? You say you do this exact same thing, and they just go down the road to the other church. Doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying, though. You have to find somebody that's committed to what you.
But if somebody is committed, whether they're a member or not, they will still be committed.
Oh, say that again.
Yeah, you say they don't need a title.
They don't need a title. If they're committed, they're going to be committed.
Then why do they want to join the church? What do they gain from it?
Exactly.
My undying love and devotion.
Not worth it.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, it hurts in so many ways. I'm crying on the inside.
I can tell.
It's. I don't know. I think they're legitimate questions that need to be answered. Somebody needs to answer because nobody's answered them. Because church membership has basically just gone the way of the dodo bird. Nobody cares about it anymore. It's extinct. And that's fine. And I think a lot of churches out there, a lot of pastors who are listening to this, they're totally content with just getting people to pop in. The only problem is that if they pop into your church, if they didn't like their last church, or well, I'll take it back. If they didn't like the 15 churches before you, they're going to not like you. And you're going to, people, we just know they're going to come there until something happens that they don't like.
And then they're out.
And then they're gone. And that's not a way to have family. That's not the way to have community. I mean, you think about it. If you had a family unit to where the sisters and the brothers changed every 2 or 3 years, the new ones came in, you can't develop a family dynamic because you can't get close to people because you think they're not going to be here anyway.
Yep.
And that's sad, but that's the way it is. And people put up these defenses when the church is just not loving. Well, yeah, what do you expect?
Yeah.
What do you expect from people? You expect them just to love people who they know are not going to love them back, because love is a commitment. And
so should church membership be beneficial to the member and to the church?
I would say so. There's got to be some perks somewhere.
Then what are those perks? What are those benefits?
We'll give them a Walmart gift card.
That's what I'm saying. What is the benefit?
All right, you're changing my mind. I might sign up.
I just want to do, even though we don't do business meetings, I just want to do a bunch of business meetings just so I can say you're not invited.
That was one of the ones you skipped, actually.
The
idea of a church voting.
Yeah, the church doesn't vote. I skipped that because I really wanted to talk about that.
Maybe we didn't get to it yet.
Yeah.
Good job.
The church voting is unbiblical. If you don't have elders, get you elders and make your deacons stop acting like elders, because deacons don't know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, you know what your deacons meeting in? Them sitting around, farting and smelling each other's farts. That's what deacons do in a meeting.
Wow.
That's all they do, because they're good for nothing else.
I don't know. We don't have any of those anymore.
Oh, they're horrible. I'm going to do a whole episode on deacons. Oh, my gosh. And you just wait for that, buddy. Woo! And I'm going to bring in pastors. And we're just going to... Pastors have a lot of experience with deacons. Oh, the stories they will tell you guys. But I have to get retired ones because the other ones would be afraid of the deacons.
Say anything.
I don't want to say anything because deacons will come after me, Because they sit outside your house, like with baseball bats and stuff like that. We heard what you said, Pastor. Come on out, big chicken. So we'll get to that later on. Well, hey, this was pretty much, I would say, the lamest one we've done. And
I don't find it lame. No, I don't find it lame.
We were talking about biblical issues.
We're gonna get to see how viewers like the difference, or the difference between what we normally do, whether it's catchy or funny, and something that's a little more serious, biblical. I can tell by how long you watch the video, so we'll know.
Yeah, so watch the video.
JR knows all.
Well, don't be a member of the group and don't watch the video.
Here he goes again.
It's just so dumb.
Didn't you walk around the church saying this?
Yeah, but you're not dumb people. You're here.
I will say this because of the whole light situation.
Yeah.
I went back and watched that video, and your line was, "I'm just walking around the church turning on lights."
Right.
And you left all the lights on in the church.
I left all the lights on.
Is that old age? Is that old age?
What was I talking about?
Yeah,
we came back. Yeah.
Where am I at? What's going on?
Jared and I walked into the church on Sunday night. I was like, "Oh, the lights are on." I was like, "How did that happen?" And I blamed it on the women in the Bible study.
But yet there's video proof.
And then we time-stamped my video. It was like, "Oh, it was me." Oh, it's a shame getting old, but it's fun too. All right, we love you guys. Thank you so much for watching Broalition. Be sure to tell your friends and just get on there and invite people, and just get them on there. We need to laugh more. We need to have some fun and understand that all the stuff that we do is in jest, and when we're not on this program, we're very serious individuals, and we don't make fun of anybody.
Is it?
Yeah, these are just caricatures of people, and so we're super nice metrosexual men when we're off here. But we love you guys. God bless you. Have a tremendous week. We'll see you later. Bye.
The Gospel Broalition is done, leaving behind charred minds, exhaust fumes, ammo, multiple cigar wrappers,
I did
and
just
an
talk.
empty bottle of bourbon. Mission
Nobody makes it to the outro
accomplished.
anyway.
You've been listening to the Gospel Broalition
They watch
with
the first 6
Pastor
minutes
Lee,
like, okay, I'm
J.R.
done.
Robinson, and the
We made it
Hoosier
this far. We
Hillbilly,
love you.
Mike Paul.
This is the secret
A show
Yeah,
for
this is
men,
the secret. We're gonna start
by
from
men.
now on.
If it's
We make it to
religion,
the outro.
politics,
We're gonna put secret
cars,
messages in
guns,
there.
cigars,
And,
and anything else flammable. We're talking
Yeah, it
about.
says we might let
We
cameras
hope you
speak.
enjoyed the show.
During
You
the-
know we
during
had
the
fun.
outro.
We'll be back soon,
But,
and thanks
for
being
listening
a
this far.
part of the Gospel Broalition.
There's an empty bottle of bourbon.
Drank it all.